Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the show. We're here today on episode 1886 of the Cabral Concept. Glad you could join me here today on this Motivation and Mindset Monday, where the topic of the week is going to be going over why sometimes you need to become very unbalanced in order to achieve later on the balanced life you're looking for. And I'm going to help make sense of that on today's show. So one of the things that I love to be able to do is really try to dissect a lot of these fundamental concepts we've been led to believe. So a lot of times we're led to believe that, the way to be happy is to have this balanced life, meaning like you carve out time for the family, you carve out time for your career, you carve out time to get your body healthier and to get your health in order. But really, what does that mean? And how are we able to do that? And I would say even furthermore, when you have large goals, when you have a big goal, when you've set huge dreams for yourself, can you just go about being balanced in your ordinary everyday life and achieve those goals? So I would actually argue against that. I would argue that in order to achieve extraordinary things, you need to be extraordinary. And I've done a whole podcast on that. I'm going to link that up for you today. Head on over to stephencabral.com/1886 on the whole definition of being extraordinary. But what I want to share with you is this. If you're looking to achieve something that isn't ordinary, meaning that you want to totally transform your body, meaning you want to lose 50 plus pounds, 50, 80, 100 pounds, you need to do something extraordinary, right? Let's say that you want to transform your finances. Well, if you keep doing what you're currently doing, you're going to keep getting what you've already gotten, right? So we need to then do something different. Well, what about our health? Okay, you've tried a new supplement plan, you've tried a new diet, you've tried a new fitness regimen, and it's still not sticking. You might be dealing with an autoimmune issue, you might be dealing with high cholesterol, high blood pressure, psoriasis, PCOS, you name it. Whatever you're dealing with, you've tried some things, but it's not really working out for you. And then when we look at relationships, okay, so you've been trying to find that right someone and it just hasn't been working out. Or your relationship that you've been in for many, many years now isn't going in the direction that you hoped it would, that it's not as strong and stable and healthy that you would like it to be. Well, here's the thing. Again, a lot of times we're told you need to follow the status quo. You need to, again, carve out this number of hours for family, this number for work, and you become nice and balanced. The problem is, again, when you're up against something that's a larger goal, a bigger goal that most people, let's face it, most people in life don't go after those things and they're unable to achieve them. And the reason is that it does take an extraordinary effort. Now, before you start to think that this is too much work, remember, extraordinary is just extraordinary. It takes more than the average person may be willing to put in. And that's okay. Again, I'm not here to judge and neither should you. But if you want that, then you need to put in an extra average and more than average efforts. And in order to do that, at least temporarily, we need to become a little unbalanced. So let me just share with you, before you dismiss this, because this is really important, you actually need to become imbalanced for the sake of achieving a bigger goal you've set for yourself. And if you achieve this bigger goal, it will lead to much bigger things in your own life that then you will be able to give back to so many more people. So for example, if you transform your body and you lose 50 plus pounds, you're going to have so much more energy, so much more health. You're going to be much likely more vibrant. You're going to be just going after more things in life. Why? You're literally carrying around, just brass tacks, you're literally carrying around 50 less pounds in your body. Can you imagine walking around all day with a 50-pound weight attached to your chest or back? Well, that's what it would be like. Taking that off, how much lighter would you feel? Wouldn't everything in life get better after you lost that 50 pounds? I believe so. Again, if you have the weight to lose and that's a goal of yours. Well, what about your health? Well, if you used to suffer from what I did, which was brain fog and insomnia and joint pain and skin rashes and bloating and you name it, well, I couldn't achieve or even think about achieving a whole lot in life until I got my health better. So once I did that, well, then of course there was 10x the amount I could do for others, for my family, for relationships, podcast, teaching, you name it. But I couldn't do that until I got myself healthy. Relationships as well. If that's what you need to do, meaning like by finding the right person for you or rekindling a relationship, if you do that, then you are infinitely more happy. And that's going to, really it's going to spill over into your work. It's going to spill over into your health and so many other things that, well, then maybe you need to go all in on that. Same with finances. For a lot of people, we're not talking about doubling or tripling their income. A lot of people, if made another few $1,000s per month, whatever it might be, well, life would be dramatically different for them and their family. And so what I'm sharing with you here today, and I'm about to give you the plan, is that in order to create an extraordinary life, not only do you need to do something extraordinary, but you also have to become in balance for a period of time. Let me share with you what that means. So let's say that you want to lose that 50 to 100 pounds. Okay, you can't just eat less, right? You can't just eat less because it's going to work for some people, no doubt about it, and it most likely will work for you, okay, to an extent. And then what happens is the metabolism gets lower and lower. You don't burn as many calories. You need to then eat even less. And again, how little food can you eat? That's not the best way to lose weight. It's only part of the equation. So what do you need to do? Well, you need to become a student of weight loss. You literally need to decide, okay, I am now in this. I'm all in. I'm becoming in balance because I am going to use the majority of my waking hours in order to lose the weight, okay? Because you know that by losing that weight, your health gets better. You'll have more energy, more vitality. You're going to be more outgoing. Again, I don't know what it means for you because it's something different for everyone. You might have less joint pain, and because of that, you'll be happier, right? People that are in chronic pain are typically not as happy. And of course, it's because they're in pain. They're literally in pain. So here's what I want to share with you. What would you do if your big goal was to lose 50 plus pounds? Okay, well, life would be a little bit different because if you go back, I'm going to link up this other podcast here today at stephencabral.com/1886. And all my previous podcasts are at stephencabral.com/podcast. But I'm going to link up a previous one because everyone, and I'm going to share exactly how, has about 6 hours in their day that's their time. Now, most of us don't seem like we have 6 hours in our day that's our time. I'm going to link up that podcast, share with you exactly where those 6 hours come from. Now, in that time, let's say you dedicated 2 of those hours, maybe even 3, to losing weight. And you might say, well, I don't have, where's it going to come from? Again, I'll teach you in the other podcast, but let's just say there's some in the morning. Let's say there's some around lunchtime, and let's say there's some before bed. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going all in. We are going all in because we've committed that our most important priority in life is to lose the weight because it will lead to so much more down the road. And this is something that you could take with you for the rest of your life. Okay, so now what are we going to do? Well, for sure, we're going to come up with a nutrition plan, no doubt about it. So what does that mean? Well, we're going to have to meal prep. Even if we don't cook our own food, we're going to need to know where are we getting that food from, what store, where are you going for lunch, where are you going for dinner if you don't cook. Because you need to plan that out. And it can be as easy as saying, I'm going to this takeout place Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to this one Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Again, you'll figure it out because as they say, where there's a will, there's a way, right? Because there's plenty of places that you can go. You can do a lot of times what I do. You can just have the frozen veggies, have some frozen fish, have some hummus, some legumes, whether you're vegan, paleo, whatever you might be, you can have all those things ready to go. And you might be debating, well, is it better to have fresh? Is it better to have frozen? Again, I've done a show on that as well. But honestly, your goal right now is focused on a high quality nutrition leading towards weight loss. Now, okay, we say, okay, great. So we're going to meal prep, or we're going to get our meals done, and we're going to say that's a maximum of 30 minutes to an hour a day. Okay, well, what else do we need? We certainly need to be moving our body more. Okay, so we need to move our body more. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to get in a workout every single day. You might say every single day, that's too much. Your body's going to burn out. I would agree with you typically. And again, I've done many shows on this as well. 3 to 5 days a week is typically good. But our goal is extraordinary. And part of it's for the mind. We need to stay focused right now on being able to overcome our slow metabolism. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to be doing, bone-crushing workouts every single day, because we're not. So we're going to be doing resistance training Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're going to be doing cardio Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Sundays might be off, or it might just be going for a longer extended walk. Every single day, we're going to be getting our 10,000 steps. Okay, we've got some workouts covered. They don't need to be heroic, as I've said before. Maybe you hire a personal trainer. Maybe you do a group class. Maybe you're doing a spin class. Maybe whatever it might be, you can do. All of these things can also be done right at home. We know there's so many programs out there. We just don't want to overdo it, because again, we're in this for the long haul. Okay, so we've got that, but what else do we have? Well, maybe we need to rebalance our thyroid. Maybe we need to rebalance our blood sugar. So now we're spending a half hour to an hour a day looking at other things that it could be. We're using the right nutritional supplements. Remember, all of this can be done. I wrote a whole book on it called The Rain Barrel Effect. It's used for wellness. It's used for weight loss. It's used for anti-aging. You will be able to figure this out if you go all in. What does all in mean? Well, for most people, it means, again, as many of those extra waking hours per day while you're not doing the family thing, while you're not at work. But even at work, can you probably sneak a couple hours? You probably can, or at least a half hour. Now, here's what I mean by that, is that you are always thinking, you're always saying, how can I, or an even better way to phrase it, so that you've already got the mindset that it's already been done. Remember, it's already been done. You are now looking to simply step into that. So how has it already been done? Well, you have to ask yourself, how did I achieve that 50-pound weight loss? And your mind starts to figure out all these different ways. How did I achieve that 50-pound weight loss? How did I achieve it? How did I achieve it? How did I lose that weight? And you start to look at all the different ways, because remember, there can only be so many different ways to lose that weight. So then your mind starts to open up all these different possibilities, and you don't get frustrated because you know that you're all in for a period of about 3 to 6 months. That's your time frame for achieving most of these things, all in for most people, 12 to 16 weeks. That's 3 to 4 months. You might need a little bit longer. Let me give you a couple more analogies. So when I was really sick, and I was really sick for a long time, but I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. The internet wasn't even really around in the late 90s. So what was I to do? Well, I read a lot of books, but reading a lot of books takes a lot of time, right? So let's say back then I didn't know how to read fast. I didn't know how to read the way that I read now. But let me put it to you this way. I might be able to get through, I was all in. But even being all in, I was reading a couple books a month. Well, more than that. But let's say, they were on kind of one topic. It wasn't holistic. It wasn't bringing everything together. It took me a long time, but I was all in. And the reason why I was all in is that I was not great at anything else because I was frustrated. I was angry. I wasn't sleeping. My brain literally didn't turn on until about 11 a.m. I was in this constant fog. I had terrible insomnia. So here's the thing. I had to fully commit. And at that time, what did I have to do? I had to say no to a lot of things. I had to say no to a lot of all the different, listen, my good buddies, they would go out every Friday and Saturday night. For a long period of time, I was not able to go out every Friday and Saturday night because I knew that was not leading me to a path of health and wellness. So what did I have to do? I had to take a sabbatical for a period of time. I could go back to that once I did get well, and that's exactly what I did. But for a period of time, I had to step back. And by stepping back, I could say, listen, I need to put me first. And there's nothing wrong with that. People have told us that there's something wrong with that. Remember, the great Jim Rohn said, I'll take care of me for you if you'll take care of you for me. And I think it's a beautiful saying because nobody else can take care of me. They can provide guidance for me. They can give me a hug when I need it. They can say nice words, but ultimately it's me. It's the internal me and it's the external me taking actions that allows me to take care of me. So I took that period of time. I went all in. I saw many different practitioners. I kept reading. I kept doing all of my research, my trial and error, testing variables, all the things that I talk about. And ultimately I did get well. And what happened when I got well? Everything in my life changed. Better relationships. I was more outgoing. I was sleeping better. Now I wake up between 5 and 6 in the morning with plenty of energy, ridiculous energy. And again, I'm coming from someone that had Addison's disease. So you have to understand all of these things can change. My blood sugar is now balanced. I don't have any more joint pain. I can finally exercise and enjoy it again. I started doing sprint triathlons. I mean, these are things that someone with Addison's disease and autoimmune issues and SIBO and candida overgrowth and H. pylori and all these other things like fibromyalgia would never imagine they can do. And now that I can. So here's the thing. Every year gets better though, because I found that equation and you'll find yours. There's no doubt about it. You simply have to stick with it, but you have to stick with it it's not extended. It's like 3 to 6 months. That's truly it. Cause you'll be able to figure it out if you're all in, if you're unbalanced in a way. So what was I? I was unbalanced, right? I mean, I really was because I wasn't putting in as much time for my other relationships. I wasn't putting as much time in maybe for a lot of spirituality or even like body transformation. I said, I need to get healthy. That's what I needed to do because my goal was so big, I couldn't be distracted. This doesn't go for everyone, but you might one day have a goal that is so big that it causes you to have to go all in. And I'm simply saying to you today that there's a time and a place for it. There's a time and a place to become imbalanced in order to then be able to enjoy a life of balance after that. Now that I've gone all in with my health and later my career. So it is not easy to set up your own private practice, never mind 2 different locations. So I created 2 different health practices in Boston, very competitive in the city, right? We've got let's say 40, 50 different nutrition and fitness and doctor centers just within a couple miles, like literally 1 to 2 miles. So it's not easy, but if you believe and you're passionate about what you do, then you can't do anything else. You have to do it. So I committed. And within a couple years, about 12 to 18 months, we got up to about 10,000 or so appointments per year. And then after that, I opened my second location. We got up to 20,000 appointments per year. And it's absolutely fantastic. But what did I have to do? I had to go all in with that. But I knew that it was a finite period of time to start my 2 locations and to be able to grow my practice. And the reason why I share that with you is because now it allows me to live a life now of more balance. I don't need to be working the 12 plus hour days. I can work normal days. I have more balance now being home in time every night for dinner with my family. I'm able to take the weekends off. So again, I had to go all in because there's just no way that you can make a business work if you're not all in for that first 12 to 18 months. So the problem is that we're told that we always have to live a life of balance. And I'm just here to share with you this, is that you can live a life of balance and you can live in pretty ordinary and happy life. There's no doubt about that. But again, if you've set bigger goals for yourself, there may be a period of time, and the bigger the goal, the longer period of time that you need to become a little bit more imbalanced. Now, again, it doesn't mean you totally forget your friends or relationships or your health or your body transformation or your spirituality. No. You still give time to that, but more of all of those waking hours are dedicated to whatever your goal is. You need to think about it as almost like, if you've ever swam against the tide in the ocean, you know how challenging that is, right? And if you're distracted at all and you even let up for a minute or so and you try to relax, you're going to be another 10 yards further back. And so what you need to do in those situations is simply push through. Continue to push, because when you have big goals, sometimes you have big obstacles to overcome. Because if the goals were easy to achieve, if your dreams were super easy to achieve, then as they say, everybody would be doing it. But since you have bigger goals, bigger dreams, you're passionate about other things, you need to say for a period of time, okay, I'm focused. I'm disciplined. I'm going to make this happen. And once I make it happen, fantastic. I'm not going to forget about it. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing, but you will have figured it out. You will have figured out the systems that allow you to put a little less effort in and now be able to shift your focus to your next goal or simply create a little bit more balance in your life. So for me, I wake up early. I do whatever I need to do in the morning for myself, all of those, that me time. My girls are up then. I'm making breakfast with them. I'm helping them get ready for school. I'm going off to my work day. I'm getting into my workout. I'm home for dinner. We're doing books afterwards. We're, talking to the dinner table. My weekends are off. So that's what I considered a balanced life. But again, easier said than done, I know, but for a period of time, I had to step back from that. And I know it's easier when you're single, no doubt about it. I know it's easier when you're younger. When you have a family, it's a little bit more challenging, but it's why I go back to taking back some of those hours during the day. You can wake up an hour before the rest of your family. Most people can. Most people can carve out a half hour to an hour around lunchtime. And then most people can get an hour back before bed. If you can do that, you still get 3 hours per day to work on that big goal without neglecting the rest of your life. I know you can do it. Ask me if you have any questions. Just literally reach out at cabralsupportgroup.com. That's our free Facebook page. Or on Instagram, just leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Hopefully today's show was helpful. Again, I appreciate you tuning in. Each and every Monday, we're going to be going over different mindset-based topics. Always feel free to tune in and feel free to share the show with anyone you believe it could serve. Take care, everyone. Have an amazing day. Thanks so much for tuning into the show. And before you go this week, coming off of our functional medicine detox, I want to make sure that you are set up for success for the next 12 weeks. This is why we are offering 20% off for life. That means 20% off each and every month, 2 of our most popular protocols. That is the Daily Foundation Protocol Level 2 or Level 3, and that is your daily nutritional support, your 22 organic fruits and vegetables in the daily fruit and vegetable blend, your omega-3s, your daily probiotic, and if you do level 3, your daily digestive enzyme. That means you're going to be covered. You're going to get all of your vitamins, all of your minerals. You're going to get your detox factors. You are going to get your 15 grams of hypoallergenic vegan-based protein with all the amino acids in it. You're going to be getting 22 different fruits and vegetables every day in that greens or rainbow colored powder. You are also going to be getting the omega-3s that you need to keep your body healthy and with balanced levels of inflammation. You're going to be getting your 50 billion low histamine probiotics on a daily basis, plus that daily digestive enzyme to help you break down your food that much better and reduce the bloating. So that is our Daily Foundation Protocol Level 2 or Level 3. I do Level 3 every single day. I don't miss a day. If I'm doing a fun breakfast on the weekend, I still do my Daily Foundation Protocol Level 3. I get those nutrients every single day. It's my fail safe to keep my body healthy and strong and energetic. And for those people looking to up the fat burning potential of their body, you definitely want to check out our Fatlocity system. It is the first ever day and night 24-hour fat burning system backed by science. That means this is not conjecture, it's not hearsay, it's not hype. These are 25 scientific studies showing that the formulation we've created actually helps you to burn more body fat even at night. So check that out. That is fatlocity.com, or the best way to do it is just go to eco.life for all of these items, and you'll be able to find them. eco.life/fatlocity, and just go to eco.life for the Daily Foundational Protocol as well. While supplies last, that means all this week actually. Yeah, so this is unlimited. So this is not while supplies last, but it does end on April 11th. Okay, so this offer is good through April 11th. You can actually save 20% for life by signing up for a subscription for Daily Foundation Protocol Level 2 or Level 3 or Fatlocity. Check it out over at equa.life, and of course, let us know if you have any questions.